What's up? It's Dr. Will James with Dr. Will James Reports. Hit that like button, subscribe. Today we're getting a video from Kevin Samuels. Uh, it's a woman here who refuses to compete but wonder why she's getting passed over. Let's get into this video. Let's see what we think.
We are kind of at the bottom, and we're not like the first selection. When I walk in, we're not the
You're not the first selection of whom?
I would say of Black men. I would say of not of all men, but I mostly focus on Black men. That's who I prefer.
First thing I notice is that she's overweight. So you're talking about you're not the first option, and you're saying you're not the first option of Black men. Most men, the vast majority. Now, and Kevin Samuels used to always post this out, point this out. You can't say, "Oh yeah, I know some men who like chubby chasers or like bigger women." There are some men that go for that, but when a man, for the most part, is thinking about settling down, having a wife, he's not looking for a heavier set woman. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get pregnant, you're going to have kids, you're going to get bigger. That's not attractive to most men.
But a lot of
Black
them,
men marry Black women at an 86% rate. What are you talking about?
you do have a point there, but I'll just
hit her with a fact real quick. She had no rebuttal, trying to make it look like Black men aren't looking at Black women. And he just said Black men marry Black women at an 86% rate. She had no rebuttal.
just say, yes, they do marry them, but as far as like desires or preferences, as they would like to say, a lot of them like our look or like our charisma, but when it comes to our attitudes or just the way that we communicate and work with them.
So when you say somebody walk in the room, how can they tell that about you?
Well, when I say like walk in the room, I mean like when we walk in the room, men are coming up to us first, if that makes sense.
Who are they coming up to first?
I'll say most of the time it's like Mexican, Latina girls or Caucasian women.
And I'm gonna ask you a straightforward question: are these women more physically fit than the women you're talking about?
Some cases.
Don't give me the special snowflake answer. I hate when women do this shit. Well, it all depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Look, men are visual. You cannot tell me that Black men walk into a room where, all things being equal, all the women in there are 5'4", dress size 4, and they just go to the white women and Latinas. That's not even how we're built. Are the women you're talking about that are getting passed over physically fit? 5'4", 120 pounds, dress size 4. Yes, no.
No.
There you go. That's why you're getting passed over. Because 80% of you are overweight. But you put it off on race. And that's a cop-out.
I wasn't saying like...
When I gave you 86% of Black men marry Black women at an 86% rate, you still found a way to make your argument.
I was talking about communication and like how
there has to be an approach before communication.
True.
You said that they're not even approaching, right?
This is a grown woman with no sound logic. She's talking about how they communicate. He's like, there has to be an approach before communication. I have to like how you look physically before we can even work on communicating, before we can even get to that stage. So if you got a woman who is 5'4" and she's 120, 135 pounds, whatever, nice size, fit body, and then you got a woman who's 5'4", but she's 350 pounds. I don't even want to talk to the woman who's 5'4", 350 pounds. There's nothing to talk about. There's no communication. She couldn't even say nothing. She's like, "Oh, you got me there." It's common sense. Stop playing games.
Hmm.
Well, how can you communicate if there's not an approach? You can't. So if a black woman in your circumstance that you're talking about gets approached, then the issue becomes what?
Well, I'll say with my experiences, a lot of men my age aren't really looking to settle down or be serious. They're kind of wanting to play the field. So I feel like that's where the communication,
But you said these men are still approaching white women and Latinas.
they are. And
Are
they
you?
go and they settle and
They
have a
settle?
family.
They do what? They
Not
settle.
not settle, like settle down. You know what I'm saying? Like get
Man,
married,
man, okay.
children,
Man, what
get
you
a
just said makes no
family,
okay, man. What you
go
just
on
said makes
from
no sense. I said after they approach,
hmm
and then what? You said, well, most men my age aren't looking to settle down. They're playing the field. Then I said, well, what you just said is those men are approaching white women and Latinas. Yes, they are. And then what? And then they get them and they settle down with them, meaning that a black woman could have been settled down with two. It's not the youth, it's not their age. See, what black women never want to deal with is the fact of the matter is
That whole response, she said made no sense. She said most men her age are just looking to play around and play the field. Then she said, "Oh, they get with a white woman or a Latina woman and they settle down." That makes no sense. Are they settling down or are they not? What it is they just want to play around with you. You're the chubby one, you're the big one or whatever. You're the one who they just want for a night or for a week or whatever to have fun with and play games with. These men want to settle down, but if they come across someone who is not wifey material to them, they will get what they can out of them and settle down when they come across the one that they want to settle down with, the one that checks all of the right boxes. You have to put yourself in a position, put yourself in a state of mind and your body, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You have to make yourself wifey material if you want someone to settle down with you. No one is trying to settle down with someone who is out of shape, their mental isn't right, their spirituality is off, their vibe is off, their energy is off. You have to make yourself wifey material. Then these men will want to settle down with you. If you come across a man, these men don't no man want to come home to an empty house. Don't no man want to come home to no woman. They want to come home to a woman. But if they're talking to you and you aren't giving them that wifey material, they're not going to share that with you. You're going to ask them, "Are you looking to settle down?" And they're like, "No, I'm not looking to settle down because I'm not looking to settle down with you." So it's no point in making you think that. But let's be make sense, common sense. If someone come across, if a man comes across a perfect woman who is 5'5", you know, thick in the thighs, perfect body, she's super feminine, she's submissive, she can cook, she cleans. You think that man is going to say, "Oh, I'm not looking to settle down to that"? Make it make sense. No, it's you that they don't want to settle down with because you don't check the boxes.
your fitness and your attitude are your biggest problems. If you would be as fit as your competition and as friendly, cooperative, and submissive as your competition, you would win the majority of your men like any other race of women do and have done throughout history.
Exactly.
but that's what I was referring to with the cooperation and the communicating. That's where it goes wrong.
But it goes wrong from whose standpoint, the men or the women?
I could say both. It
No, you can't say both because you just said these men go off and settle down with white women. See, the more y'all do this bullshit, both. It's always both. Why can't you ladies just hold yourselves strictly accountable? Because you're losing to other women. The higher up your men go, especially your generation, more and more guys are saying they're not even starting to deal with women, black women, because of your attitudes. You
That's
know
what I
this.
was saying with the
Well,
communication.
then you have
and
to fix it. Because if they're not dealing with you, it's not as though they're not dealing with any woman. So let me ask you a question. Are you saying that the men in your generation are choosing to have no woman, or are they dealing with women other than black women?
they're dealing with women other than black women.
Then right
They
there
will,
tells you, then right there shows you the problem. They're dealing with women. If you had said they're choosing to not deal with any women, then you could have made the argument. But now if they're dealing with women other than black women, why not understand why? Like I said, number one, are they as fit as your competition? You said no. 80% are overweight and 80% of that number are obese. You've heard black men talk about the attitude. You've been on this channel listening to women who don't even want to smile. And when I start asking these specific questions, you want to go down to both. This is what happens to matriarchy, where you can't hold women accountable. They never want to get down to the point. The problem is on your side. The men are still getting with women, yes or no? The young men are still getting with women, yes or no?
mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So they're going into the store to buy something. They're walking out with a Becky or a Marisol, and they could have had a Kenya. So it ain't like they walked into the store without money and not intending to buy. You got to make your product better.
But that's what I was saying in the beginning. It
Okay.
comes down to the communication and us cooperating with each other.
No,
And
no. It comes to you cooperating with us. See, that's why you keep going. See, you keep
well,
talking
how
like
can
we're
you have
part. You
one-sided cooperation?
well, you don't have a choice. See, you're losing to Marisol Mylene. You're losing to Becky, Marisol, and Mylene. See, you keep saying cooperate with us. Why does he have to cooperate with us when he's gonna go over to Marisol and she's willing to cooperate with him? He's gonna go to the situation that is gonna cooperate with him, then he has to cooperate with you.
But if you're cooperating, isn't that a team effort? So doesn't it take two?
Well, if
How
that's the
can
case, you shouldn't be losing. If what you're saying is the case, all things being equal, you should not be losing to non-black women.
But when I speak with most black men, they don't even want to cooperate with us. They already have it in their mind that, oh, it's
Where'd
just
that
not
come
going to
from?
work.
Where'd that come from?
I'm not sure where it really. I
It
think
just came.
social
It just
media.
popped in their head. It just came from nowhere. One day they just woke up and said, "This is what it is." No, because they've
I
grown. They've
really
grown
do.
up. No, I'm going to tell you where it came from. This is very conversations where it came from. The inability for you guys to be honest. These guys are your brothers, your cousins, your neighbors. They went to high school with you. They went to junior high with you. They went to elementary with you. They went to pre-K with you. Their mothers are you. Black men know black women intimately well because black women run everything in the black community. So if black men in your generation are choosing to not even deal with them, it's not because it doesn't come from somewhere. And you're talking about we need to cooperate with each other. Ma'am, if you're on the losing end of a relationship situation, if you don't get black men, what is your option? White men, Hispanic men, Asian men, Middle Eastern men? They are not running over to the hood or the neighborhood to scoop up black women in large numbers. Is it starting to sink in yet?
I I said in the beginning that it already sunk in with me, and I'm realizing that we just don't cooperate. I don't know.
Well, when you
It's
said we don't
important to
cooperate,
do
you
that.
said we don't cooperate with each other.
Yes, we do not
And
cooperate with each
and
other.
that's
The
the point. And that's
communication is
and see,
off.
the point is not
She's still missing the point of taking accountability. It's not we don't cooperate with each other. Even based off what you're saying, even what this black woman is saying, based on what she's saying, it's a black woman not cooperating appropriately with black men. Because according to her own statements, these same black men go find women of different races or certain ethnic groups, and they're able to settle down with them. So they're cooperating with other women, they're making it work, and they're communicating properly with other women. What is it about you that they can't cooperate with you? They can't communicate with you. They can't settle down with you.
We don't cooperate with each other. Black women don't cooperate with black men. You must cooperate with us first. This is about
I know
order.
plenty of black women that would not mind cooperating with a black man or communicating with a black man. It has to be a two-way street. It can't be just receptive on
Okay, I
one
don't
end.
think you're under. I think see again, right there, you ran it into a ditch. I know plenty of black women who would not mind while your non-black competition is ecstatic too. They're wanting to. They're leaving their racial preference of men to come over to talk to black men. They're choosing to come leave their neighborhoods and come get with Jamal. While Jamal's in your neighborhood and you're talking about, I wouldn't mind. So Jamal has to ask himself, which woman is more ecstatic, exuberant, and excited about cooperating with me? Kenya or Becky? And by the words out of your own mouth, other women are more because you wouldn't mind cooperating with them. Somebody wants, that means I'll do it if I have to. I'll do it. It's okay. I won't mind. Hey, you want to go to the movies? Oh, I don't mind. You want to go to Hawaii? I don't mind. Hey, you want to go to the movies? Oh my God, I would love to go to the movies. Hey, you want to go to Hawaii? Oh my God, thank you for buying tickets. You notice how different that is? Hello?
So are you stating that it's
Do you
just
notice how different those two things are?
yes, I noticed the difference in tone and effort, excitement. I see it, I hear it. But what where I'm coming from is when you say we have to be ecstatic or we have to be the ones who want to cooperate or to make it work, how can you cooperate or make it work with somebody who already has it in their mind that this is not going to work out anyway? So let me just get in, get what I want, and move on.
Sounds like you got a problem. Sounds like you got a lot of work to do. Sounds like you got a lot of. If you're trying to sell something to a market and they already have it in their mind that your product is bad, it's not going to give me what I want. It's not going to give me the outcome. And either you sell your product or you go bankrupt and don't eat. What do you have to do? What do you
So
have to
how
do?
can
What do you have to do? Don't ask me a question. What do you have to do?
Make your product better.
you have to find out what you need to do to sell your product?
Ding, ding, fucking ding. Black women have to figure out why black men are not buying them. And then you have to give black men what they want up front. Not you can't, I don't mind. You got to be willing to outcompete Becky Marisol and Mylene because
I'll just stop it there. This is the problem. You got this woman right here. I didn't catch her age, but she appears to be in her late 30s, early 40s, or in her 40s, mid 40s. And look at how he has to walk her through the conversation and show her logic and the points that she's missing. Every way through, she just wasn't making sense. It's delusional. She kept contradicting herself. All right. There's no problem with black men. Black men want to settle down. They want to settle down with black women. It's just a lot of them have fallen to modern feminism. They think that they're doing more than they're doing. They've been tricked, um, and they've fallen into a trap. They bring up how educated they are, but they still make less than black men. The average black man in America makes $3,500 more than the average black woman in America. So what does it matter that you graduated college when someone who didn't graduate college makes more than you? You got black men taking up trades, going to trade school and stuff like that, driving trucks and being plumbers and engineers and uh, electricians, and they make more money than these women who go to school and they study like the, you know, Asian history or whatever they're studying, and they make less than the men. So, let me know what y'all think of the video in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know a video you want me to address, and we'll get to it. Peace.